Kawhi's world. We're just living in it. So, welcome to another Grit and Grime basketball podcast, episode 70-something. 5? I'm going to go with 5.
75, yeah.
Just shooting numbers, man. It's my free throw percentage.
Isn't it?
Sure. Absolutely.
Do you want to go to the court and sort this out now?
Yeah,
Tom?
yeah.
That's 2 episodes in a row. You're choking at the start. Can I do my intro?
Go for it.
To my left, just starting with the smoke early, Thomas Arnal.
Hey.
Opposite me, Biyibi.
Chris Dunn needs to be traded ASAP. God damn it.
And as always, your host, David Sagoe. That's me. All right, so we are going to go out on a ledge this episode and talk about, well, it's basically going to be an extended version of our segment from season 1, Man's Not Hot, for the players that are playing like
Trash.
Tom right now.
Hey!
And doing bits for the players that play like me with the game on the line in the fourth quarter of an elimination game.
Yeah, nah.
Carving up the defense.
BS.
Shooting a high percentage.
All right, can we move on?
BS.
Can we move on, please?
All right.
Fucking.
So, we've got two players of the week. So we figure we might as well start off doing bits with the players of the week.
Yeah.
In the East, some people put an L in front of it, but I don't because I'm neutral.
Oh, you know.
Neutral.
Yeah. In the East,
Yeah, right.
player of the week,
Bollocks.
Ice Trey TL.
Future MIP?
He was too high of a pick, Tom. You keep
Don't
picking
care.
these MIPs that were top
I'm here.
5 draft picks.
We don't care about the rules.
We do, and it can't go to a second year player either, unless they didn't play last year, basically. He was great.
It can't go
last
to a
year.
second year player?
Not really.
Yeah, it's gone to a second year player before. Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Dinner bet.
I'm pretty sure it's gone to second year players.
Dinner bet.
Dinner bet. Nice.
So Trey Young, player of the week in the East, in only, is that 36 minutes?
Yep.
He has 34 points, shooting 51.5% from the field, 52% on threes, which is insane if you've been watching the range that he's been shooting them from.
Yep.
6 rebounds, which is a surprise for a guy of his size. I happened to catch him grab an offensive rebound and put it back like he's Bobby Portis.
Wow.
And and 9 assists to go with that. It's really creating, really creating.
Keep them shots coming.
And a steal. He had a steal too.
Mark.
Shots? Wait, I ain't got a gun, man.
That's fine. Don't worry.
Did I wake up this morning?
We'll it's fine. We'll stem the tide.
And then in the West, Western Conference Player of the Week was Karl Anthony Towns. He's only played 33.7 minutes, but he's averaged 32 points on 52.5% shooting, 51.7 from 3. This is insane for a big guy. 13.3 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Ooh, it's like he heard you hating.
And the Wolves are 3-0 as well.
And they're 3-0. One of only 2 teams that are undefeated, I think.
One lost.
Which is funny because that's the team we kind of trashed last week.
And also he was saying that people were sleeping on them, and then they've come out and won every game.
And then Wiggins actually playing basketball.
Andrew
Well, yeah, I mean, he was trash for like the first two and a half quarters of that game.
Sure, but
And
then he helped win that game.
Yeah,
right?
the right time he came through.
That's the second time down the stretch that he's made the buckets that have put them over the edge.
Yeah.
He did the same thing against the Nets as well. So he actually started, was it 0 for 6 from 3 and then hit 4 in a row to close out the game.
I actually watched that
Crazy.
before. Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah, he said he was
Early
working
season
on his
luck.
game.
He said he was top 100.
He's working on his game. Well, he's playing like he's top 100, you know?
Please.
You know?
Give me a break.
Yeah. And yeah, Towns is just a different dude. I swear, ever since that car crash that he had last season, he's been beasting.
Yeah.
I don't know, something changed in his gratitude for life, but he's just been playing like a man possessed.
I think it has. Yeah, I think it definitely did something to him mentally where he's stepped up. Maybe he's grown up thinking, well, you know, this can all be taken away anytime. Bang, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also somehow in some way, shape or form impacted Wiggins as well. I mean, I know it's only been 3 games, but you know.
We're here to go out on a ledge, man.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know.
Mm.
All I know is that they are very impressive numbers, though. I mean, I've seen a couple games with Timberwolves games, in that when you see your big taking a step back 3,
yeah,
it's just insane.
He's been, but it's the percentage.
Yeah,
because he stays making threes. Like I think he shot 41%, 42% last year. That is insane for anyone. For him to be doing that as a big man is just ridiculous, and it just means that he's just unstoppable at any level of play.
Yeah, he was
all 3 levels,
shooting 40% last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a huge game changer for any team. You know, if you got a big guy like that with those stats, that instantly put you, you know, at least in the race for the playoffs in the West. So, you know, question is now, is he gonna be able to keep this up?
Yeah, maintain and sustain.
It's Wiggins. No.
Shut down.
One word analysis.
Absolutely, like no.
Why?
It's Wiggins.
We're talking about
Carl
Anthony
Towns.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it's Carl Anthony Towns. I mean, I don't think. I mean, Carl is quite a consistent player. He'll be consistently good throughout, or consistently decent throughout the season, but he won't. That will be it, really, because Wiggins is going to go downhill. He's not surrounded by the right types of players that's going to help him, you know, get that team to where it needs to be, the top 8, I guess, basically. You know, I just don't see it. Period. Right. I don't think they have the right tools or right weapons. And you know, it's technically kind of a first year coach is. I mean, it'll be his first full season. But you know, yeah, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I mean, he'll be consistently good this season. He'll have peaks and troughs, but it won't amount to anything. It really won't amount to anything.
Remember you said that. I'm going to clip this.
Oh yeah, please do. Hold me to it.
So moving back over to Trae Young.
Trae
went 3-0. 2-0. 2-0 before losing to the Sixers last night. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Beating the Pistons and the Magic, and all 3 of his performances have been electric. He didn't shoot the ball as well yesterday, but Philly basically game planned for him, which you rarely see at this stage of the season, because even to start the game, before he even dribbled the ball, they had Josh Richardson guarding him 94 feet, full court, to try and take the ball out of his hands. When he finally got the ball in his hands, you saw him fake towards a pick, crossover left, send Josh Richardson to the dark realm, and pull up for 3 from just stupid range, logo range.
Yeah, stupid range, yeah.
And from that moment on,
he's starting to knock them down consistently now.
Yeah, from deep. And you just realize that he's going to, if he has the space, he's going to take it and he's going to make it.
Yes.
And then also they had drop coverage out there with Embiid not coming out on pick and roll.
Yeah.
So every time he came around a screen, he just had acres of space to operate in. So they could either set the screen really high, which is something the Trailblazers did last year and in the playoffs, so that he could pull up from deep, or they would set the pick at like around the 3-point line as normal, and he would get into floater range or find his roll man on the with the pocket pass.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dissecting them, man. They were up double digits, 12, 14, something like that. I think maybe 16 at one point. And that's with him being guarded full court by a very good perimeter defender in Richardson. Then he went to the bench, and they cut into the lead a little bit. Philly cut into the lead a little bit. But when he came back out, that's when Omar coming.
Omar's here. AKA.
Omar's coming, y'all.
AKA.
Matisse Thybulle.
Thibault.
They put Thybulle on him, and granted, he still made some buckets and still did some things. They also started trapping him in the backcourt when he did get the ball on the inbounds pass. He threw a few home run passes from the backcourt to the front court like he's Kevin Love. But Thybulle did a much better job on him, a much better job of just staying in front of him, making it difficult for him to even get the ball and things like that. Philly were able to bring it back and eventually win the game. But yeah, for teams to have to game plan that much for a second-year player in the third game of the season is insane, and it's a showing of things to come. Again, he's another player who kind of flipped the switch at a certain point last season, and since then has been unstoppable. Because his end to the season was like this. I think they had the top or second top offense in the league while he was on the floor last season during that stretch. So this is the kind of like Steve Nash like things that we rarely see. It's like Steve Nash, it's Steph Curry, where a point guard just automatically makes your offense nuclear. And man, do you think he can keep this up?
I do. I was on the side of kind of sort of not necessarily hating on him, but kind of just not being a fan for the most part. Call it what you want. But I'm slowly but surely kind of coming over to the side of thinking that, I mean, he's impressed me. He's really, really impressed me. To answer your question, do I think he's going to keep it up all season? Second year player, I think he'll be a lot more consistent. I think this season, I think he has a chance to be an all-star this season, especially in the East.
Yeah.
I actually do. I think his downfall will be obviously defense.
Sure.
His downfall will be the fact that
he's undersized.
He's undersized, and will he be efficient enough in the taking those really deep, long-range threes?
Yeah.
I actually, that's not my worry for him. I think it's more the fact that he looks tiny on the court.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, comparison to obviously to everyone else.
To everyone. Oh yeah.
He has put on some muscle though. He
has.
Bigger.
He has. He's sharp and everything. So that's fine. It's just he looks. I just hope. Because he likes to get in the paint as well, so I'm just hoping he'll be as lucky as, for example, like Tony Parker was tiny as well. He never got injured apart from the end, towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
But he was able to get in the paint and really get at the big guys and never really suffering from it. So I'm hoping he'll be the same for Young.
Yeah,
but you reckon he'll? How badly was he injured last season? Did he really even get injured last season? I don't think he did.
I don't think he was for an extended stretch.
Trey, I don't know if he was. Hang on.
How many games?
He played career stat. He 81 last year.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go. So
he'd be fine.
So,
but you never know. An injury doesn't really matter if you're, it can happen all the time. But what I'm saying is that he could potentially get banged up by.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking individual numbers, I mean, he's going to be a lot more consistent this season. I see him. I think he's what I'm looking for him personally. I don't think there's. I personally don't have any issue with him sort of dribble penetrating.
Mm-hmm.
He's facilitating. However, I think his leadership, because it's still a very young team, his leadership and his efficiency, taking those shots at the right time, you know, and knocking them down really. It's early season. It's early season gas really, but at the same time, I think he will be consistent this season. It's just, yeah.
I was quite surprised last night when Vince Carter took the last shot.
They were denying him the ball.
No, I think he was.
They denied him the ball.
If I remember the last play well, like Carter had two guys on him also.
Yeah, that was once he caught it. But initially, the reason that he caught the ball was because they were denying Trey the inbound pass. And then once Carter got it, he just ran with it because they had 5 seconds to get something up.
I'm pretty sure that there was a chance for a pass.
They could, yeah. They could have forced the ball to him, but essentially, because they were inbounding into the back court, not the front court.
Yeah.
How much you can try and make that pass and fumble it, or give it to him with no time to do anything, or you can just go and shoot the shot. And I think he went and shot the shot. You take that L, like Philly are. Philly are Eastern elite.
Exactly.
Like there'll be other teams, there'll be other games. It was impressive in general from the Hawks because they didn't exactly tank with him off the floor outside of that first period.
I think, shall we? I mean, you know, we must highlight others because of that, really. Because Hunter, you know, their draft pick, who can knock down the long range, but who's really a defensive player, is showing out and playing really well this season.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I can't really think of what sort of Kevin Huerter's doing, but you know, Kevin Huerter's not, you know, doing anything wrong. Like, you know, he seems to be. That's fine.
Like I said, they've played well.
Yeah.
It's just that he's kind of the engine behind things.
Of
So
course,
when he's
of
off
course.
the floor, it just doesn't look right.
No,
they have Evan
no.
Turner on the bench to orchestrate the offense, but he hasn't been as effective as he used to be.
No.
And I think Bembry has taken on most of that mantle with Trey off the court.
Mm-hmm.
But they could definitely do with someone else who can orchestrate the offense when he's not out there. I want to get to the source. I want to get to the spice. So
What's the spice?
I'm gonna go straight from players of the week.
Yeah.
To trash.
Into man's not hot. Like
all right.
The guys that have been just stinking up the place, man. There's been some poor performances, and I'm gonna start you guys off with Junior Conley Mike.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that
because you might have seen a video.
I don't even know if you want. Is there anybody else that was trash?
You might have seen a video.
No, there's no video.
There's footage.
No,
I've missed this video.
What video are you talking about?
You talking about the one? I mean, pause. Do you wanna get up on the screen?
No,
we know what happened in the video.
Are you talking about the
I
one
can
when
explain.
he makes the free throw and he's celebrating?
No. There's no footage.
No.
I'm talking about the video where you guys are trying to convince me that Mike Conley's going to be.
Oh, that
yeah,
video!
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Yeah, I don't know that video.
No.
He's going to be your all-star, right?
Who?
Well, your all-star had 0 points yesterday, and I didn't. He had 1 point, and I didn't see any Wilt Chamberlain pictures of Mike Conley come through the group chat yesterday.
Look.
No, I'm not going to look.
It's been a rough couple games. It's early.
You know, this is how rough it's been. 4 games, 25.5 minutes.
He's going to stem the tide.
7.8 points per game. 20%. I think these stats have been inflated. 20% shooting from the field.
MVP. MVP. No,
Yep.
Wait.
So from 3, he's shooting 15% on 5 attempts.
Nasty.
That's 0.8 makes a game, people.
Ouch.
And then he has, let's see, rebounds, 2.3 rebounds, cleaning the glass, and 4.3 assists.
That's cold.
So they're 3-1.
Yep.
So they are winning games, just about. But he's been absolutely horrible. And I don't know about you guys listening, but my co-hosts giving it all the all-star smoke. One guy in particular was talking about how Mitchell's going to be so inefficient. He shot like 70%
No. Quote me. If you're gonna quote me correctly. If you're gonna quote me correctly.
And how
if you're going
Mitchell's
to quote
going to
me,
have a
quote me
down
correctly.
year. And he's out here winning games.
If you're going to quote me,
off the back of his clutch performances and
that's
offensive
absolutely
rebounds, balling
I never
out.
said he was going to be inefficient. I said he is known as a very inefficient player.
You said he would have a down year.
I never said he would have a down year. Did I say he would have a down year?
More than once, Io. We might even have it on record, but that's not what we're
Down
here for.
year?
Yes, you said down year. 1,000%.
I need to go back and listen
I
to
won't
that.
even have a dinner bet with you because it's not fair.
You know what? I'm going to go back and listen to that. I'm going to go back and listen to that.
VAR.
But anyway, yeah, man. Conley's been trash, y'all.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
He has been.
Dude, so
Defend
trash that
it.
he celebrated the fact that he made a free throw the other day.
There you go.
Did you see
man.
that video?
He's
That's
shooting
amazing.
80+% from free throws.
Still though, because I think that was his first bucket of the night, and he went, there you
Got a
go.
point.
I think,
man.
no, but I think we have to look at the team he's playing on. We have to look at the give me a second. If you look at what he's come from and the system he's come from, the situation he's come from, outside of, let's say we're talking about last season, right? Outside of Triple J, everything, the offense was predicated on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Sure.
on him.
Mm-hmm.
He ran the show.
Mm-hmm.
So everything went through him.
Mm.
But now he's gone into a system that is not about him, right? He's trying to figure it out. It's gonna take him some time to kind of get used to the system and kind of get his head around it, get his head around the plays. He knows that he's not the primary focal point, and that's as a result of the fact that that team has a lot more weapons than Memphis has had in, let's say, the last 2 to 3 years, irrespective of Marc Gasol being there, right?
Yeah, I would agree with all of that, and it will take time for him to understand Quinn Snyder's system because it's a complicated system. But that doesn't mean you should miss open shots. That doesn't mean you should miss open shots. Period.
But then, okay, I'm not entirely sure if those shots have been taken in rhythm. Have those shots have been taken? Has he been taking those shots out of the plays, within the play?
Some of them will have been, some of them wouldn't have been. But
so I don't know.
Scale. It's not like he's taking 3 shots a game.
Yeah,
right?
In terms of volume, it's quite
Yeah,
high.
Yeah,
the
I
volume
think that's
is
what I'm
high.
getting at. The
So
volume.
he's getting shots.
Okay.
He's just missing them. He's missing floaters, like 20% from the field.
Ugh.
Like the 3-pointers is only telling part of the story. He's missing from everywhere.
Yeah.
So to me, with that situation, it is going to take him time to get the offense. And they're winning games, but Bogdanovic has to learn the offense, and he's thriving.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Crap.
I think it's slightly different with point guards than with with other positions, because it's like he's like I always said, the game goes through him, and now it doesn't really anymore, because then you've got other guys around him. Everyone's got the chance to run the offense, if you will, on that team. So it's whereas before it was either him or Gasol leading the charge. But it's kind of a different. I understand he's struggling that, but the depth that he's going in right now. It's quite
it's
impressive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But in the wrong way.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to miss that. Like, you'd think
Yeah.
some would go in by accident.
Yeah, it's because you're thinking at the end of the day, he's an NBA player. That's what they do. Like, you leave them wide open on the court, they'll shoot 80%. Like, even just doing a warm up shooting. And sometimes some of those jump shots are the same. Like, it's wide open.
Yeah.
He's how old is he now? It's like 32, something like that.
He's 30, 31, I think.
30, 31. So he's more than experienced. So it's not like he's shitting himself on the court thinking, oh no, wait.
Yeah.
So he's there's definitely something going on with him. So I don't really know what that is, because when he's shooting performances like that, I think to me it's in the head. It's nothing to do with like physically being.
Yeah. It's not
underperforming
necessarily
or
that
anything.
he can't shoot anymore.
It's not that he can't shoot. It's just like there's something that's gone on in his head. It's like
he's not comfortable.
Yeah, he's not comfortable anymore. Exactly. So I think he'll revert to him being back to normal pretty soon. I think he just needs to figure out the offense and everything else going around him. But when you get to a point that he's too trash to be true, like that's there are teams that are like that. Like that. They will put in a performance on one night, or during a week when they're so trash that it's too trash to be true. Like they can never go lower than that. And that's what's happening to him. Like, he's gonna stink for a little bit, and then eventually he'll pick up. So I'm not too. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. The teams. What you have to think about is that the team's still winning.
Yeah. And the other thing is he's still got gravity, because even I think he went. Was it 1 for 17 in that first game against OKC?
Yeah,
but they still had a man on him in the clutch.
Exactly.
So Mitchell was still able to drive. And score in the clutch. Same thing last night, actually, against the Suns. He was still out there in the clutch, and they were still guarding him. So as long as you still have the gravity, it helps. Tom, do you want to go on to your player?
Let's not talk about the Knicks.
Let's talk about the Knicks.
Let's talk about the Knicks. So
trash.
The last game was amazing, but before that,
both of you,
there was a bit of an issue with the coach. I'm not going to say his name, but coach whatever. Having a bit of an issue with he was going to start as a point guard.
Frankie Smokes.
He's got 3 of them.
Peyton.
Yeah, so he's going with Peyton, but then. the one and only Dennis Smith Jr. is also on our roster, and he's been awesome. 3 games. All right, 1 point per game. Okay, he's playing about 10 minutes a game. That's fine, but that's minutes that is taken away from Frankie. He's on a point, an assist, and 0.3 rebound a game. For an average about 10 minutes. So, like, it's a 2 thing for me. Like, it's like it's a bit weird, because it's like the argument of the coach is, well, Frank's not ready, he can't shoot. But I'm like,
he can defend though.
He can defend, but like, bitch, your sub at the point guard position is shooting freaking. Let me find oh god, there we go. 9%.
The thing is,
shooting 9%.
So if we're talking about, let's put an asterisk by the whole shooting thing, right? And let's actually elaborate. Right?
Go for it.
He's shooting poorly, and he's also not making layups.
He's.
So, do you see where I'm getting at? In the sense of...
can't put the ball in the bucket.
Exactly.
Period.
So in a sense of, there are... I mean, we all know, throughout the game of basketball, doesn't matter what league, NBA, EuroLeague, Pro, even British basketball, there are point guards that can shoot. There are point guards that are drivers, slashers. There are point guards that can do both, whatever.
You'll have your specialty, right?
Yeah, you have your
one
specialty.
thing.
Now, And then there are players who have their specialties that are somewhat mediocre or average or whatever, or just below average. He's one of those.
Yeah,
and he's performing poorly on both sides. He's known. I mean, we all know he's not a really good shooter, but he's also not making open layups. He's not making, those easy layups. He's playing poorly. Like he's making poor decisions on offense. He's turning the ball over, and that's affecting his confidence, and it's affecting it with the way he shoots and how he shoots and how confident, how much confidence he puts in his shot.
It's just, I think to me he's the issue I've got with him is that they still, because he's a high drive pick right from a couple 3 years ago, and there's still that expectation around him, even though he's had how many seasons now? That's his 4th season. He's never really amounted to anything really. No. There's always been that hype around him, and I think that's why he's still a backup point guard. That's why he's still getting somehow minutes, and that's why he's still going ahead of Frank for now. And it's just that I think that's what I find frustrating. Is he's not improved on anything. He's not, like you say, he's not really good at anything. Like even if you had that one thing, that one skill, like Frank can defend.
Yeah.
Right. And the one thing Frank needs to improve on is kind of the not the attitude, but like being aggressive. That's what I would say with him. But that's something he can improve, consistent. I think, and being consistent. That's fine. Like last night he had 0 point, but I don't. That's not what I'm expecting from him. I don't actually now gone to the point where I've seen so many games from him.
Plus minus, woo.
Yeah, but it's like I don't expect Frank to score like 10 points. Like if he scores 2 points, I'm like, yeah, sweet, awesome. That's 2 points for us.
I expect him to defend and pass.
Yeah, I want him to defend and pass and be a bit more aggressive, offensively. Just like move it. But with Dennis Smith Jr., it's like, what do I expect from him? I don't know what I'm supposed to be expecting from him. Like when the way he was sold to us was like, this flashy point guard that would be dunking on everyone and like a scorer.
Is that what he was sold to?
Yeah, kind of. I remember the hype around him when he got drafted. Was like, oh my god,
just about to get to that point.
Go on. Like, oh my god, there's a next like point guard. He's the next big thing. And when he got taken by the Mavs, I was like, yeah, good pick. And then that never really got nowhere. It's like, and I think he's still somehow for some reason he
thinks he's better than he actually is.
I don't know if he.
I don't know if he does,
anymore.
but
not anymore. No anymore.
Anymore. Yeah, I think the first couple of seasons his teammate was saying that.
Yeah, definitely in the beginning.
Yeah. The icing on the cake against the Celtic.
Yeah.
Was when I think he missed like 2 or 3 shots in a row, and half of the Knicks fans were chanting.
Oh, Knicks fans. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're chanting.
Oh, Frank.
We want Frank, and the other half were booing him.
Yeah.
Now that's been confirmed, and by the good folks over at Knicks Fans TV podcast, who
started it.
Yeah, who started it. They actually started that the We Want Frank chant, and boy, oh boy! I mean, the look on his face. Would you be? Oh no, you've got, what in the background. The look on his face, because he was affected by it. He was absolutely affected by it.
You kind of feel sorry.
You feel sorry for him, but this is the thing, right? And you're gonna get on me about being a little secret New York Knicks fan, whatever. It's not that. It's one thing I've always appreciated about Knicks fans is the fact that they genuinely are some of the only basketball fans in the NBA that wear their heart on the sleeve, and they're very intelligent about what wearing their heart on the sleeve and how they talk about it, and they're very emotional, and they will let you know how they feel, regardless. And it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
it's a real gift and a curse. They've done it for as long as I've been alive, longer than I've been alive. And they will boo their own, they will cheer their own within a matter of several plays. And, regardless of whether it helped or it didn't, I think it was somewhat warranted. It didn't help,
It'll never help.
It will never help. But you know, at the end of the day, the Knicks fans let him understand that, or let everyone pretty much understand that. No, we're not having that anymore. And I think it was warranted. It was warranted. Whether it helped or not, it was warranted.
I think it's a good thing, but it's just the sad thing with the Knicks is that the management is just all crap. You know, the owner is horrible. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere until he's gone. But anyway,
you can't blame the management at the moment, can you? What part of the management can you blame?
I'm just talking the ownership. I'm just talking.
You can't. This is this is another thing that annoys me about Knicks fans.
Oh God!
Because regardless,
it's becoming a Knicks show.
No, it's not. But it's not. But at the end of the day, you can't. We're talking about what's going on court. Yeah. You can't blame the management. I mean, you can to a certain extent, you can, but like you the X's and O's. You have 5 players on the court. What are you going to do? Then we're talking about the coaching stuff. We're talking about the head coach. Talking about the gaffer, head coach, and the coaching staff.
Like, no, it's that's fair, but it's
you know, and the makeup of the players. So at the end of the day, if you know, he's been trash. He's been really poor. I do believe he believes he should be he's of a stature.
That I don't think he does anymore.
No, not anymore. But especially after the Boston game, I think prior to that, he believed he was. Of a stature that deserves that, you know, that starting role, the bright lights and whatnot, but not anymore. I think that this is again on the other side of the coin. The whole booing thing, it's humbled him. It's going to humble him. It's going to humble him going forward, and hopefully, then it will play into him making better choices. Because what happened in the game against Boston, he was making really poor choices on offense, be it sort of facilitating or attempting to facilitate and taking shots. You know, so you know, going forward, hopefully it's that the experience has humbled him, and we'll see.
But see that compared to Conley, where Conley's got experience, and I know he's going to bounce back. I don't know. I mean, he can't do worse than 9% shooting, right, for the entire season. But dude,
yeah, and the funniest thing is the guy he should be replaced with, Frankie Smokes. You know, 8 minutes per game, 2.3 field goal attempts per game, 0 makes, 1.3 threes per game, 0 makes.
Yeah, he can't. But he can't shoot.
1 2-point attempt, no makes.
I don't care.
No free throws taken.
I'm not.
And that's what I'm talking about. Being aggressive, right?
Yes.
0.7 rebounds per game. 0.7 assists per game. 0.3 steals per game. 0 blocks per game. 1.7 turnovers per game.
Oof. That's solid.
What's your plus minus?
I don't have that here. 1 foul a game. That's good.
But then at the same time, those stats don't tell the full story. They don't tell the full story because he has been playing well defensively.
Anyway, so Ayo, who was your player?
My player, Mr. I haven't missed a playoff. Or a postseason in my entire career, aka formerly of Duke basketball, aka JJ Redick.
AKA means also known as.
Okay.
You didn't give a name that he was known as besides his name. All right.
I mean, he was a Duke star. He was also known as a Duke star.
That was his nickname.
Yeah.
It would kind of have to be a nickname to use.
Let's make it his nickname.
Jukester.
Jukester.
No, seriously though, he has been. So I mean, we can go to his season average. His season averages thus far. 9.5 points per game. 1.3 rebounds. 1.8 assists, but then that's not with JJ. We're looking at his shooting percentage really, and that's kind of his calling card. He is down on last season. Obviously, it's been 4 games thus far this season. He's 31.6% from the field.
Ooh.
He is currently down from 44% last season. Again, it is 4 games. He is shooting 35.7% from long range, down from 39.7. Again, obviously 4 games. Even his free throws, and he is, he was really on the cusp of, a 90% 3-point shooter throughout most of his career. To be honest with you, it's still a high clip, 80% this season, but it's down from 89.4 last season. And don't get me wrong, that will creep up. But my thing with that is he's missing those free throws at crucial times in the game, and it's obviously it's evidently costing the Pels. They're
4 losses.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, 0-4.
Yeah, they're 0-4.
And he's starting as well.
Correct.
He was on the bench until Zion went out.
Correct.
And Drew Holiday went down.
Correct. So, in some cases, it can be a bit of an eyesore, really.
But you know what? Because I'm looking at how many, how many times, on the 4 losses every single game. That's how many points they concede: 134, 126, 123, 130.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
they need to start defending.
Yeah, well, they play small, don't they?
They play small, yeah.
With the,
and they don't have Zion.
With the former Lakers. They didn't have Favors in the last game either when they got whacked by the Warriors, who were horrible. Yeah, it's ugly over there, man.
Really
they had some close games to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, getting whacked by the Warriors is worrying. And as you said, those levels of defense is scary bad.
So I think maybe Redick's, because you know how they say, offense comes from defense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't play good defense, usually offensively, it's always hard to find some sort of rhythm. I think that might be the case with Redick, but again, I don't know if it's the right team for him. That's the thing. So I don't know if it's.
Well, they're missing.
They're missing the main.
They're veterans and they're rookie.
It was a surprising signing out. I'm still very surprised that he signed over there, but.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. It's like when there are players that you think that guy would do well on a certain team, and I'm like, I don't really know why. But that again, it's so strange for him because he's an elite shooter, right? So it's a bit weird for me that certified fresh gold. I don't know why this season anything would change for him. Because usually this archetype of players in the NBA, they always go like
age well.
The next next season, same again and again and again. Maybe it's just a small deep again, like Mike Conley, and that'll be it. Like after a bunch of games, he'll get into it and it'll be fine. But then,
pick it up.
Man.
All right, so I did just want to end on a positive note. We're going to go around the table and do our doing bits. So outside of the players of the week, who has been playing really well so far in the first week of the NBA season? I'm going to kick things off with Miami's Kendrick Nunn.
Ooh, yeah.
He is a rookie, but they've decided to start him.
Undrafted rookie as well.
Undrafted rookie.
Let's not forget that.
Starting over your boy Dion Waiters.
My boy? Come on. Oh, well, yeah, kind of, yeah, my boy.
Your boy.
Shout out to Dion Waiters,
the kid. Playing 31 minutes per game. He's scoring 22.3 points. Shooting 42% from 3 and 52% from the field. And then he's got 3.3 assists and 3.3 rebounds to go with that. 2 steals a game as well.
Yep.
Do you reckon Udonis Haslem? Is it? I'm hoping I'm not.
UD.
Yeah, I'm hoping not butchering his name, but Udonis Haslem. Do you reckon he's got him under the wing?
No, because he's shooting 40% from 3.
No. Come on, stop. Bro,
that's
stop.
the old guy.
Just stop. in a sense of Udonis, I believe he went undrafted. He was a player that no one was looking at to
except for his coach, David Thorpe.
exactly, like no one even looked at, no one rated. He actually, I think, came up sort of trying out for that team, and so
I think he had a season in France when he was solid. Nothing special. It was
I wouldn't be surprised, and because with the Heat, they stayed close to a lot of their old players, especially Haslam. He's pretty much part of that organization now. He's like part of the furniture.
Didn't they give him a new contract?
Yeah,
he's still on the book.
They have,
exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if that they've actually paired those two and said, put him under his wing. I really wouldn't be surprised.
I think Haslam's reach is way bigger than that. So I'm sure he will have had an influence over him.
Yeah,
but I think he would have done a lot more than just that.
Obviously, but I'm saying specifically.
That's what I mean. I don't know if
definitely.
he would have specifically been like, "Oh, you're undrafted. I'm undrafted.
Friend."
Yeah, I think he does. I think he helps all the players. I think he does his bit for everyone. And at the end of the day, it's hard work, right? Like, you can be taken under someone's wing, but if you don't put in the work and you don't do what you need to do, you're not going to get where you need to go. And he's playing big minutes, starting for a team who started well this season, beating the Bucks, and you have to play defense when you're over there playing for Spo.
Yeah.
And he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant on both ends of the ball, both ends of the floor. So I just wanted to highlight his G.
Cool.
Moving on to you, Tom.
I'm going to talk about the Mavs. Every week,
surprise.
talking about the Mavs, but not the greatest player of all time. No, we're going to talk about the former unicorn.
Really?
So, yeah. I was actually impressed by Porzingis. 26 a game. Almost 6 rebounds a game, almost 4 assists a game. I'm saying almost because I don't want to bog you down with all the numbers. Shooting 41% for 3, and then the more than the actual figures, like the threes he's been taking like way like stupid range, right?
He's been taking them from deep. He's also been shooting step backs
3, and then he actually looks good on the court. Like he's moving well.
Yeah,
he's. I thought like the weight he's
shots.
put on will be an issue, but he's not. He looks like he can manage it.
It's mostly muscle as opposed.
It's all muscle, but what I mean is that sometimes when you put on muscle, you don't move as well. You don't it changes your shooting and stuff like that. So it's not happening actually for him. He's actually doing fine. 2.7 blocks a game, almost no steals, but we don't care, and 2 turnovers a game, but that's all right. So I think he's a great combo with Luka. So actually, those two together, I think they're missing a few pieces around them, but that's fine. Yeah. That's another discussion.
But they're definitely building blocks.
They're looking on the way up. They are 2-1 now. I think they won. Their 2 wins are against the Wizards and New Orleans. So it's.
Yeah,
it
doesn't say much.
And they lost to Portland like by 2, right?
In a close one.
In a close one where Lillard went off. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. They're doing well. So I'm really curious to see how the rest of the season goes for him. But he started well, like, especially after not being on the courts for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. You have to remember that.
They are like one trade away from having a very good team. Yeah. Or a good sort of core and
They need to keep that core and then add one big piece and like another great player around. Then
I wonder what their salaries like. But salary caps like. But,
don't know.
My pick is someone that I've found out another Duke.
Don't say Chris then.
No, he's been trash, especially last game. Someone that I've been pretty sort of hard on since he entered the league, really. But he has been showing out. He's taking this opportunity of Zion being out and showing out. Mr. Brandon Ingram.
Yep. Former Laker.
Whatever.
Yeah.
4 games. Again, it's only 4 games. He's averaging top 10 in points, 27.3, averaging 9.5 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Now his points average is, or should I say? I'm sorry. Let me go to his assists. His assists are up from last season, 4.8. Last season he churned out 3.3 assists per game. He's grabbing 9.5 rebounds, up from 5.1 last season.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I mean, points obviously, 18.3 last season to now, obviously, like I said, 27.3. I mean, he's just taking the opportunity. You could almost say it's. I don't want to call them empty stats. I don't want to go that far and say that because this team is better than that. But I think, obviously he's putting up the numbers, and obviously something isn't going right with the team with regards to, I guess, their execution or their mentality or the plays.
It's volume. It's just volume. They're giving up too many points.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they're not scoring enough points.
That's it.
Because he's playing efficiently.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
Very.
It's one thing to say stats are empty when they're inefficient stats.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
And
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, he has taken the opportunity to score more and facilitate more without Drew being out there, without Zion being out there. But I mean, the problem is just everything that's around him. So if he was amazing against the Rockets in particular.
If this continues, let's say his points average drops to, I don't know, 23, 24, and his rebounds 9.5 currently drops to what, 7? His assists, let's say 5 assists basically now, the 4.8 drops to what, maybe 4, 3.9.
That's the most likely one to stay up, if you ask me.
Fine.
Because he's a good facilitator.
Perfectly fine. I mean, and the Pelicans improve as I guess a lot of people expect them to. It might be one where
MIP.
I mean, MIP, of course, in the running
for. Is that not what you were going towards?
No.
What you were going for?
Not in a sense, but in the sense of the Lakers regretting.
Oh, all right.
Giving him away.
I don't think so. I don't think the Lakers ever.
No.
I don't think the Lakers really had any investment. Like they never really fully invested in him. I don't think they really believed in him.
No, we did. Like
for a year, maybe.
We did.
A season?
No, we did.
But
we definitely did.
Really?
They expected him
but
to
once
put
LeBron came,
out these numbers
changed.
from the gate. They expected him to put out these numbers because he was what, number
Not
2?
from the gate.
Yeah, he was number 2, number 3 draft.
Gate. Those are crazy numbers. Those are good numbers for. Those are all-star numbers for anyone.
Of course. Yeah.
No, we expected him to get to the point where he was capable of this for sure. But LeBron came and expectations changed.
Yeah, I think LeBron took his spot.
Yeah, definitely.
But because you say he's a great facilitator, and that's what LeBron is.
Yeah.
To a higher level. So it's like, how do you compete with that?
But then at the same time, I'm sure he's learned from LeBron as well because they play the same position. I think he's definitely learned. I mean, so I guess that time with LeBron at LA, fruitful for him, in regards to education,
sure,
and taking his career forward and knowing how to help his team win, although they're not winning. You know what I mean?
Apart from that,
But I was pretty down on him. Pause. When he came into the league the first couple of seasons, but. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see where he's, how long this can last. I'm excited to see how he's able to mesh the way he's been playing with, when Zion finally gets back, and how much of an effect that will have on how he plays.
That will be interesting.
That will be massive. I think you have a massive impact.
Because
before Zion went down, the question was how he fits into the offense, because in preseason he was kind of slowing things down because he is a good one-on-one scorer, one-on-one creator. And his game doesn't really fit with the Alvin Gentry ball movement offense. So that will be interesting to see. But then also, if he's going to be this player, he's going to have to try and fit his game into an offensive scheme going forwards.
I mean, he's got enough games to
adapt.
Yeah, 100%. And he's got enough games to adapt. And I think Alvin Gentry's got enough games to adapt, his style to
suit him.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for listening to the Grit and Grime Basketball Podcast episode, whatever this one is. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and review the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're on all platforms, and catch us on socials at Grit and Grime Pod. Across all socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And make sure you check out our YouTube content. More and more coming out over the following weeks. Please hit the subscribe button.
Exciting times.
Like the videos and watch them 70,000 times. I have been your host, David Sagoe. So from me, Thomas Arnal. Hey. Hi, Biyibi.
Chris Dunn. Just get traded, please.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
DJ